2024 was an amazing year for Atlus. They broke records, released new IPs, and had several re-releases that did very well throughout the year. With all this being said, what does 2025 hold for Atlus? Will they be even better this year, or will they have to take a year off to reassess what they're going to do for the next generation? Let's find out. Sit back, relax, let's get it on. Hey guys, what's going on? King Narukami here. Welcome back to my channel, and if it's your first time here, welcome to the channel. Hope you guys have been having a great new year. I took some time off, really needed R&R. Things have been crazy, but here I am again, talking Atlus with you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining the video and clicking on this today. Today, I really want to discuss Atlus's 2025 and what I think they might have in store. And needless to say, I'm just going to be really honest, guys. I don't think it's going to be a very busy year in terms of brand new releases for Atlus, but in order to get to that and talk about what they're going to do in the future, it's best to take a look at what they did for 2024 and see where I got this idea from. So 2024, like I said, was an amazing year. For Atlus, it started off with Persona 3 Reload releasing in February, and it sold 1 million copies within its first week of release. And it became Atlus's fastest selling game at the time, which is absolutely crazy. Persona 3 Reload, of course, was a remake of Persona 3, very beloved game. And later on, they released some DLC later on in the year. The Episode August DLC released in September. And Persona 3 Reload sold very well, and depending on who you ask, I think most people had a really good time with the game. After Persona 3 Reload, Unicorn Overlord, developed by Vanillaware and published by Atlus, was released in March. And that sold 1 million copies by September as well, so pretty good numbers right there. Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance, an enhanced re-release of Shin Megami Tensei 5, was released back in June. That game was rumored for a while, and it sold 500,000 copies worldwide within 3 days, which is a very good number for a re-release. Added a bunch of new content. I think it's fair to say everyone loved that game that played it. Great time. Everything that SMT5 should have been to begin with, and then some. And then, of course, Atlus finished off their 2024 by releasing a new IP, Metaphor ReFantazio, in October, and it sold 1 million units within its first day of release. It became Atlus's fastest selling game of all time and received universal acclaim and received multiple Game of the Year nominations and awards. So it's really safe to say that Atlus had a banger 2024. And what does that mean for 2025? Well, to me, I think that means that Atlus might slow down a bit this year, and I think they're going to put an emphasis on ports this year. Now, why is that true? I think the emphasis on ports is going to be due to, in part, to what Nintendo is doing as well. I'm sure you're asking, what does Nintendo have to do with Atlus's plans? Well, let me just explain something to you right there. Why is that? Atlus was very slow to start supporting the Nintendo Switch. While Shin Megami Tensei 5 was originally announced for the Switch at the actual Nintendo Switch reveal, the game did not release until 2021. Between the Switch reveal and the release of SMT5, Atlus's releases on Switch were scarce, and their first developed Switch game was Tokyo Mirage Session Sharp FE Encore in January 2020, followed shortly by Persona 5 Scramble in Japan. So even then, they didn't have a brand new game because Tokyo Mirage Session Sharp FE was a game that was on Wii U to begin with. So it was another enhanced re-release of them published by Nintendo. So needless to say, Atlus was very slow to support Nintendo's new platform. However, as we all know, over time, the Nintendo Switch really took off and became close to the best-selling console of all time. Almost everyone in the world has a Switch, it seemed like. With the success of the Nintendo Switch platform and the Nintendo Switch 2 releasing this year, Nintendo officially announced that the Switch 2 is releasing this year. Atlus would be really fucking stupid to not support the platform right out of the gate. I think they're going to learn their lesson this time, and I really think games like Metaphor ReFantazio and even Persona 3 Reload will be ported over to the Switch 2 soon after or the day of the Switch 2 release. I really think Atlus will be there day one, if not very soon after, and if Atlus doesn't port Metaphor and Persona 3 Reload to Switch 2 as quick as possible, that's a really stupid move in my opinion. So yes, That is going to be a big point of emphasis for Atlus's 2025. I'm sure that's going to be a big release for them, getting those JRPGs, because Nintendo's a Japanese company and they're really big in Japan and even the US, but JRPGs do very well on Switch, so that's going to be their market right there. A lot of people are going to want that. Now, what about other platforms as PC? Let's go away from Switch 2 for a second. What about them? Well, I really think we're going to get the Radoku's Noha ports that were leaked earlier in 2024 coming to PC and consoles. That was leaked on the, I think it was SteamDB if I'm not mistaken. Some achievements that they posted for Nocturne HD changed to the Radoku's Noha achievements. So I really think that's going to be coming sometime in 2025. And what about Persona 6? I think Persona 6 will be revealed this year, and it will be released later on in fall. You know, there's a chance it could not happen. They didn't do it at the Game Awards this past year. I didn't think that Atlus would announce Persona 6 at the Game Awards. I think they want to make it their own thing, have their own event, but you know, who knows? A lot of people were watching the Game Awards. They might be at Summer Games Fest and announce Persona 6. That would be another time as well. Or they can do it on their own. Atlus will get a lot of publicity out of that as well. I think Persona 6 will be revealed this year and released later on this year, day and day, all PC, consoles, and even Switch 2. I think all will be there day one. I think you can almost bank on that. So other than that, I really think this will be a very port-heavy year for Atlus, and maybe on the slower side when it comes to brand new releases and news. So it might be a sleeper of a year for Atlus, but it might be a banger if we get Persona 6, which is a W in my opinion. Atlus could completely surprise us, but I think all their studios are working on games right now and probably not close to being done with anything. Persona 3 Reload released, Metaphor just released, that was a big project by Studio Zero. Team Maniacs released SMT5 Vengeance recently, so they're probably all working on something and not really ready, but you know, I could be totally wrong. Guys, I want to know what you think. What do you think about my predictions for Atlus in 2025? Do you think they're going to support Switch 2 the day of release? Do you think they're going to have any new IPs or any other games that I failed to mention? Leave a comment down in the comment section about what you think is going to happen. Remember to like the video and subscribe if you're new to the channel, and stay tuned for more Atlus content. I'll see you guys on the next video. King out.